Hey everyone, welcome to another review video. So today I'm reviewing the Spectrum Noir markers. I had a subscriber suggestion for these. I will insert their comment on the screen right now. Anyway, I went to my local art store and picked up the Core Essentials pack of Spectrum Noir. 24 colors. It's a nice little range of colors, and these markers are dual-ended, just like Copic, but one side has a fine tip. That side is also marked with a little band, and the other side is a broad chisel tip. So we actually only get 23 colors with this pack because one of these colors is a blender pen. These markers cost me $30 from my art store. I did use a coupon to get that price, but that is around the average price for them online, so it was pretty much the online price I got in store. The package says alcohol markers for fabric, glass, wood, metal, ceramic, and more. They're double-ended, blendable, and refillable, so that's really nice that these are refillable markers. You can get the refills online. You just look up the color number. So each color has a little number on the top, and then you go onto the internet, and I don't think Spectrum Noir necessarily sells them from their website, but they have sellers that do, so you just type in the number and then it'll come up with a refill for that marker. So that's nice because markers are kind of an investment and you want them to last you for a long time. So with these markers you can replace the nibs and you can refill them. So once you bought them, you have them for life. So that's really awesome. So to talk about the markers, these markers are considerably cheaper than Copics. A pack of 24 Copics is around $164 from prices you see online, and this is only $30, so quite a big difference between the two prices. These markers do not come open stock though, so if you lose one, you will not be able to buy a single marker. You would have to buy the entire pack, which the marker is included in. There are no duplicate markers in any of the sets, so once you buy a set, you have all the markers, and then once you buy another set, you will not get another marker that is the same from your previous set. So I like how Spectrum Noir does their selling of markers. I wish you could buy them open stock just in case you lost one or ruined one, but I do like that you buy them in packs of 24, and there's like 6 packs of 24, and then they have little blending sets. So they have a set of like 6 markers, and it comes in like a range from like light purple to dark purple, and you get all your little in-between purples, so it's a really perfect little blending set that they come in. I've heard, or I've seen online that you can buy these at your Walmart store. They didn't have these in my Walmart store, but I'm sure if they did, they would be in kind of the stamping craft area. So anyway, I'm going to swatch these out for you guys so you can see what they look like on paper. Okay, here are all the colors all swatched out. So some kind of cons to these markers are the caps do not match the colors quite well. So this is JG1 and this is JG1 on paper. So on the cap we're seeing kind of a teal, kind of light green, and then on the paper it's more of a forest green. So the caps are not reliable, so it's harder to just draw and constantly swap out colors because you're going to need a swatch sheet to look at to make sure that the color you're using is actually the color that's going to come out onto paper. I will say I do like the colors that they have in this packet. I like that they give kind of a couple colors from a family, so you get a couple of reds, a couple of blues, a few greens and grays. Really nice little selection. I like that there's a couple of pastel shades, but they're not so pastel that they're just like invisible. And now I'm going to bring up a subject of a picture that I drew with these markers a few days ago. So I drew this picture probably a week ago, and then I left it in the sun on my desk. I didn't really do this on purpose to test anything, but I will show you what happened to it. So this is the picture. I originally colored the background with TB3, so you can see that color right there is now extremely washed out and patchy. So, I mean, I can't say much about this. I don't know if this is just as a result of leaving it in the sun, or this will always happen to this marker because possibly they put in a lot more filler than pigment, and then maybe it evaporated, or just the sunlight changed the color. And it didn't just change the color, it changed the entire texture of the picture, so it's not as smooth anymore. It's definitely not as vibrant. Some of the other colors didn't change though. Her hair and tail didn't change. There is some changing going on with the blues. Down here in the kind of water part, the grays seem to have stayed fairly normal. So I'm not an expert on light fastness in art supplies, but I wouldn't hang up a picture in the direct sunlight anytime. However, especially with these markers. Now you are going to get a little bit of a quality difference from a marker like Copic or Touch. The markers we hear about, the ones that are extremely expensive, are that way for a reason. They're not expensive just to be expensive. They are truly quality. The pigment in them is going to last for a long time, and any drawing that I've done with Copic markers has lasted over the years of me having it. And then markers like this, they'll kind of fade away and look different. So you wouldn't want to sell pieces, because if somebody orders a piece, they see this color, and then they have it for a couple of days and it changes to this color, or even a couple of months, they're not going to be happy about it. You know, it's going to be kind of a bad deal for you and them, because they bought something that looked one way and then it changed. Sort of the whole reason we have light fast art supplies. However, if you're new to markers, you do not have $100 to $300 to spend on a set of Copics, but you want to practice with markers, cheaper markers are a good alternative, especially markers like Spectrum Noir, where it's an investment and you'll have them for your lifetime and you can pass them on to a younger artist once you've outgrown them. And you don't have to feel like you wasted money for practice. You know, that's why they have things called student grade versus professional grade. I don't like the fact that these markers claim to be professional alcohol markers, because they're really not. If your color is changing, you know, soon after, because it wasn't in the sun for very long. It was in the sun for a few days. It wasn't like I left it out for months and months and it just, like a sweater you threw out on the porch and then eventually the color changes. It changed within days. If I would have just forgot a piece in the sun, it would have been horrible. If I had already sold this or something like that. Not something I want to see with my pieces, because I know I can leave a Copic piece in the sun for a couple of days and it will not change. And if it does change, it's a very minimal, not like this. This is very drastic, and it almost just ruined, it ruined the piece, that's for sure. So I don't want to not recommend these, because I think they're really good for a student or somebody who just wants to practice. I'll probably use them when I'm not going to sell a piece, or when I'm not, when I'm not looking to sell a piece and I'm just sketching and I just want the feel of having a marker drawing. Because markers are fun for me. I love drawing with them, so that's why I buy cheaper markers, so that I can use them up without feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting thousands of dollars just practicing in my sketchbook. So that's why I buy cheaper markers. I do like the Spectrum Noir brand. I think that they do a good job in their packaging, or their actual product. These are well made. The cases are well made. The color number is printed on there really nicely, and they're not going to ruin easily. And I like the color selection. I like the ability to practice with these. However, I wouldn't recommend them to a professional. If you've already used Copic markers, if you've already used touch markers or pro markers, you're not going to like these. You're not going to enjoy using them, because they do, they're a student grade marker in my opinion. Even if they do say professional grade, I wouldn't suggest them to somebody who's been using markers for a long period of time. Anyway, I'm going to insert a little clip of me coloring a picture with these, and then the finished picture at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'm sorry that these markers didn't really turn out to be the greatest thing in the world, but I hope you found what you're looking for if you're looking for a new marker, or you avoided a bad purchase. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!